Hey family, welcome back to my channel. My name is Matt. If you're new here, welcome. Remember to stay till the end of the video for more information about the giveaway on this channel. First one is coming up. Alright guys, remember to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, do all that fun stuff. Follow me on Instagram, the link is below. Alright guys, let's get in it. So when most people think of wealth, they think of this. But what it really is this. So guys, that example was for financial. Okay guys, we're gonna jump back into goals today. We're gonna talk about the fifth area, which is financial. Just a reminder, the 7 areas to set goals in are family, social, career, spiritual, financial, physical, intellectual, / mental health. Now, financial is another vital area to set goals in for many different reasons, and that's why I gave you that example in the beginning of what people think it is versus what it actually is. So, we'll get into that. Alright guys, I'm gonna give you the top 3 reasons why financial is important to me. Number 1, peace of mind. Number 2, not living paycheck to paycheck. And number 3, leaving a legacy for my family. Okay guys, so when you set financial goals, there's 3 different types you want to set. Short, medium, and long-term goals. So in financial, you can kind of break it down even more because you can't just set one goal and kind of be done with it because there's multiple goals in this area to set. So if a short goal would be an example, oh, I want to save $1,000. Okay guys, so if you want to save $1,000, let's say it's in a month or 2 months. So I want to save $1,000 in 2 months by saving $500 per paycheck. If you get paid twice a month, then that would be 2 times, so that'd be a month. Or if you wanted to save $1,000 in 2 months, do $250 a paycheck. So it'd be $250, $250, $250, $250. And at the end of 2 months, you'd magically have $1,000. Wow, that's how it works. Okay guys, that would be an example of a short-term financial goal. Now let's do a midterm financial goal. Okay, now a midterm financial goal is when it's something that's a little bit bigger, maybe a year, right? So a short term would be like a month or 2 months. A midterm would probably be like a year to 2 years. So for demonstration purposes, I'm gonna use a down payment on a house for an example. So when you want to do a midterm goal, let's say it's a down payment on a house. Well, I think first of all, you gotta figure out how much house you're gonna buy and what the down payment needs to be. So you gotta do some simple math. So you take the purchase price of the home, then you multiply that by 10 or 20%. Now, it is important to put 20% down. I know it can be hard, but the reason you want to put 20% down is to avoid PMI, private mortgage insurance, right? So, private mortgage insurance costs you about $75 every $100,000 borrowed, which in turn is going to put your mortgage payment higher than it should be. So, basically what PMI is it's basically insurance for the bank to say if you fail on that loan, they still get their money. So, it doesn't help you at all, it only helps the bank. Now, I know a lot of people can't put 20% down, so try to put at least 10, minimum, but, if you could do 10% or 20%, that should be the target for a down payment, and that would be an example of a midterm goal. Okay guys, now a long-term goal, let's say for example, would be paying off the house, right? So a short term would be $1,000, a midterm would be saving a down payment, and then a long term would be actually paying the whole house off, right? So now usually people do this within 15 to 30 years. So if you can make it a habit of trying to figure out like what your target date is to pay off the actual house, that's going to be super vital because then in the long term, not having a house payment is a big plus. So then you can invest that house payment into other things. Okay guys, those are the 3 examples of the short-term goal, the midterm goal, and the long-term goal. In the future on this channel, we're going to take a look at how to start budgeting, saving, investing in the stock market, investing in real estate, making sure that you have the right protection and insurance you need to protect the wealth. So the offensive part is investing and saving. And then the defensive part is where you actually buy the insurance. So car insurance, health insurance, life insurance. All those insurances are how you play defense in financial games. The offense is the investing, the saving, and the actually making the money, right? So there's 2 different sides. There's the offense and the defense. We'll kind of go over that more. Okay guys, we're going to go over 2 more financial goal examples. Remember, all goals must have 5 things to actually be accomplished. Number 1, a time frame. Number 2, specific. Number 3, measurable. Number 4, written down. And number 5, your goals. Okay guys, so always remember that. Those 5 things, I'll put them on the screen right here. You don't want to go from 0 to 100, right? It's better to go from 0 to 10 than 10 to 15 than 15 to 20, right? Because if you try to go 0 to 100, you're most likely going to fail. So it's about incremental wins. So go from 0 to 5, 0 to 6, 0 to 10. You know what I mean? Don't just go 0 to 100. So 0 to 5, then 5 to 10, right? So it's incremental growth instead of trying to go all at once, which is a big difference in today's world. Everybody just wants to go to the moon, right? But we want to go incrementally down the path. So you want to go 5 to 10, 10 to 20, and so on until you get to 100. Because you're not going to go from 0 to 100. I can guarantee you that. It's going to go 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, right? That's another side note that I thought about. All right, guys, 2 examples. Number 1, getting on a budget. Future video coming on that soon. We'll go in depth. But for now, we'll just keep basic. Okay, guys, first, I would go on your app store, download a budgeting app. Very simple. It's free, easy, right? Or you can just write it down on paper, whichever one you prefer. Okay, guys, so we have income on top, expenses on the bottom, should equal 0, right? So it's very simple. So basically what you want to do is you want to say, how much money do you make? What are your expenses? And then it should equal 0. So you want to spend all the money on paper before the month begins because there's no surprises. And then if you have to adjust to your budget, then you can be like, okay, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this, right? But if you practice doing that, it'll build the muscle in your brain to start budgeting more, which then you'll have more money. Okay, so it'll give you a raise because most people just spend money without knowing what they're doing, right? If you have a plan, which is a budget, that's the first step. I feel like a lot of people think, well, I got to make more money. Well, I think you can make more money, but also if you budget your money better, I think you'll get a raise just from doing that. And then you can work on increasing your income after you're better at budgeting, right? Because most people don't budget. All right, guys, number 2 is saving an emergency fund. You want to have a rainy day fund when stuff happens, when the car goes out, when you have to buy something for your kid, when you got to buy a new garbage disposal, whatever. I don't know, it just came in my head. Don't know why. But yeah, you always want to have money set aside in a separate savings account. So this is really simple. Just open a separate savings account, put money in it. Now, how much money? I would do 3 to 6 months of your expenses. So figure out what your expenses are per month and then times that by 3 or 6, and that's how much you should have in savings. And you don't touch that unless there's an emergency. And the big thing about that is after the emergency happens, you take the money out. The next goal is to get that money back in there. So replenish it, right? That's how you stay ahead, is when something bad happens, you take the money out, you spend it on that item that you need for the emergency, and then after you spend the money on that, then you go back to the emergency fund and replenish it with that money that you spent on the item on the emergency, basically, right? So that is important, vital, important. Okay, guys. So $100 Visa gift card giveaway at 1,000 family members. Remember to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, share this with your family, your friends. Super excited to keep going, and I'm kind of changing it up. Maybe I'll go outside next. It's really nice out, so stay tuned for that. Okay, guys. All right, guys, that's all for today's video. Remember to continually work to become the best version of yourself, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.